Well, the day is finally here. It is happening. Saudi Arabia against Pakistan. All the hard work from everyone involved with Pakistan football and all of the players in beating Cambodia, and it's all built up really to this moment and the returning home games as well. Of course, they're in the group with Jordan, Saudi Arabia and Tajikistan. So Saudi Arabia, the biggest side in terms of football. Of course, they're 57 ranked in the world. They had that incredible win over Argentina in the World Cup just last year. So this is the big game. This is the big away game in our round 2 preview run, and I described it as a lower league side in the FA Cup getting drawn away to a Manchester United or Man City. It's like that, you know, Pakistan, the lowest ranked team, still in World Cup qualification in Asia. 193 in the FIFA World Rankings. We use FIFA World Rankings a lot just because it gives a barometer. I know it's not an exact science, but what it shows is the difference, of course, in quality between these two sides. And Pakistan are still very early on in their football journey. They've just released 2 new kits, which are sensational. They've got the manager, of course, Constantine, who came in before their history-making win over Cambodia, and of course the draw before that as well, aggregate win. And they've got an abundance of players with eligibility. Of course, Issa Suleiman, who I believe is not able to play in this game. Not sure if that's injury. If someone can let me know, that'd be great. But I've seen that he's supporting the side in Saudi Arabia, which implies he's not playing. Otis Khan has finally been granted the eligibility to play by FIFA. He'd already been capped for Pakistan, of course, earlier this year as well, but wasn't allowed to play in round 1 for whatever reason. He is now playing. And ultimately, you know, they're going to lose. But that's okay. And that's the beautiful thing about international football and the beautiful thing about football at this level in World Cup qualification. I'd like Pakistan to play in a similar style that they did against Cambodia, where they were just built off of a solid defence. And I think the manager will be aiming for that. We saw earlier today, Australia versus Bangladesh. That finished at 7-0 to Australia. Australia, Saudi Arabia, similar-ish in kind of standard, in quality. I do believe that Saudi Arabia are without Al-Dazawi, who I believe is also injured. Of course, he famously is one of their best players, scored against Argentina as well. But in Group G, you got the other 2 sides, Tajikistan, Jordan. They're also very good sides. And for Pakistan, they have to view this as just a learning curve and a journey and a fantastic opportunity. Mancini, of course, the Saudi Arabia manager as well. So what an experience for the players. I think that a respectable scoreline would be 4-0 or anything below that. Of course, if they were to keep it under 4-0. If it were to be over, I'd like it to not get into the realm of above 6. If it was 5 or 6, I think you could go, disappointing, but okay. But I think that Constantine will be disappointed if it's anything more than 6-0 in this one. I actually think that he'll be really trying to keep it, make it quite a nasty game for Saudi Arabia to play in terms of slowing the game down where they can, trying to hit on the counter where they can, but that's going to be extremely tough, and try and keep it as low scoring as possible. Of course, that's the only outcome, and Pakistan should be trying to pick up some points against Jordan or Tajikistan at home. This Saudi Arabia away trip, it's not a holiday. They are there to do a job, but they just need to focus on enjoying it. Don't worry too much about the scoreline. You know, you're not letting anyone down if you do lose 4 or 5-0. That's why I say sort of below 6. I think anything above that and it becomes a little bit, okay, we really did get battered. And look, that could happen, and still I don't think there's anything negative you can say about the lowest ranked team in Asian qualification against one of the best teams in Asia. I'm just hopeful for a good game, and I'm hopeful that you can see enjoyment on the players' faces. It's tough. You go somewhere, and especially if Saudi Arabia score early, I don't want heads to drop. I do think if Pakistan make it 15, 20 minutes keeping it at 0-0, they'll start to grow in confidence, and they will still lose. I'm 99.9% sure that they will still lose this game. But as I said already, that doesn't really matter. If they make this a respectable scoreline, look, if Pakistan walk away with a 3-0 defeat, that's weirdly an amazing result. People who don't really understand football at the level at which the Pakistan team play, or people who kind of only support the top teams in the world, whether that's club or national, don't understand that sometimes, you know, just the trip, the experience, and the fact that Pakistan have never got here before. They've already won their World Cup in that game against Cambodia. They've already made history. They're not going to qualify for the World Cup. That I am 100% sure about. Just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. I'm hopeful that we see something in terms of an attacking flair. I don't think Pakistan will score. I could be wrong. But, oh my God, what a game. What a game. If I had to throw out a scoreline prediction, I think that Mancini will be drilling into... And to be fair, I think that Mancini will approach this professionally. I don't think he'll be going, thrash these guys 7-0. I think that the main focus, get the job done, get the win, because they will expect a lot of teams to beat Pakistan, particularly in the other side's home matches. But so first you just got to get 3 points on the board, and Mancini will back Saudi Arabia to top this group, potentially winning all the available games that they have to play. If I had to throw out a prediction, I would probably go with something along the lines of 4 or 5-0. I'm hopeful that it's around that mark. And what I'm really interested in, actually, is how that scoreline matches up with how Bangladesh got on. And for me, that's a little bit of a benchmark of where Pakistan are as a national team. They've already overcome Cambodia, which was a great result. Bangladesh are a little bit higher in the FIFA World Rankings, a little bit more established as a footballing nation than Pakistan, not a huge amount, but a little bit. They, of course, lost 7-0 to Australia in that away trip. So you can match the games up. If this is a 3-0 or a 4-0, then you're looking at, okay, Pakistan, you need to set up a match against Bangladesh because you'd probably beat them. It doesn't quite work like that. Football would be boringly predictable if it worked like that. But I think this is a benchmark for Pakistan. How good are they amongst the top 4 sides? How good are they across what we call the minnow nation teams? And of course, where can this team go next? I hope, Pakistan football fans, that you are just looking forward to this, looking forward to seeing your side play in a great stadium, at a great away trip against a very, very good team. You've never got to this stage before. I'd love to say that you're going to win the group and get out of this stage. I think that the best thing that you can get out of this is experience. Get your comments below on what you think the scoreline is going to be. And also, where do you benchmark success? I've put success at that 4-0, 5-0 mark. If you think that actually it's still an okay result if you lose 10-0, then get down in the comments. I'm not saying that's horrific, because I'm saying there's such a big gap between these teams. But where do you draw that line? Of course, I think that we could all agree that anything that's like 2-0, 1-0 is an incredible result for Pakistan. If they get a draw, I will eat my hat. But get your comments down. What is success? And also, who in the group, Jordan, Tajikistan, who do you think that you can beat in that home game in Islamabad? Good luck to Pakistan, and we will see you next time.